During the olden days, is there any community that Aviara people had fought war with?
Yeah, in those communities, those days, huh?
Yes.
Yeah, they fought some wars with some neighbors, around. That's why we had a covenant with these people from Oyede, very close here. Yeah, we fought some wars. Then after the war, they have to do this covenant.
Okay, it was after the war that they now did the covenant to make them.
Not Oyede.
Oyede.
So that, like we are in Oyede now, we don't go about fighting ourselves.
But among you two, which people won the war then?
Yeah, I will not go into that. I will not like to go into that. So that's it.
Talking about the culture of the Aviara people, their tradition. What do you have to tell us about their culture, your culture, those unique things that this is your culture?
Yeah, most of those things they used to do those days, they don't do them anymore.
Okay, those things they do in those days, they don't do them anymore.
No, they don't do them anymore. What they do now is we have some fishing festival, which we just did recently. We call that the Obollo festival. Yeah, before they start going for the fishing. Those ladies who are just young, newly married, they will form a dance group. They will bring them together, form a dance group. They will dance for about 48 hours or so. They will be dancing, singing throughout the night. Then after that, they will still go to the river bank to sing. They will sing like 7 songs while the fishermen will be doing their fishing. If you go there, you see people will be there trading. People will come from various areas in Isoko. Yeah, a lot of areas, almost everywhere in Isoko, to go and fish there. So that is it. That is one, and the other ones, they are no more in vogue. Yeah, they are no more in vogue.
In the olden days, our forefathers then, during the olden days, when they migrate, they will normally have this like a deity that protects them against war and all that. When they migrated from Benin to there, what was the deity that they migrated with, that they were worshipping in remembrance of their father now?
Here we have 9 of them. We have 9 deities, 9 deities. I may not be able to name all of them to you, but I know that we have the one like Etebere, we have Ariah, Ariah is a river. Just in Ariah here, it's a river that is it's just by where we have the Bible site.
Bible site.
Yeah, we have a Bible site. Where
Bible site.
The first Bible fall from.
The first Bible that fall from where?
From the sky or whatever. Fell.
Like I can see it with my eyes.
The Bible actually, you see, it was like a woman went to farm to go and harvest yam. So in the process of harvesting yam, it was raining, so he had to go back home. The following day, he went to where the yam was. There was a Bible on top.
Where he left her harvest.
Where she left the yam. The Bible was on top. So once he returned, the following day, she wondered, what was this? Well, nobody has seen that such a thing before. Even to see a book service, not everybody who knows how a book look like, not talk of a Bible. So she went back to report that she saw so and so thing. No. Then after that, they wanted to see the Bible. I think after that, the Bible was then taken to, wasn't Patani or so. Was it Patani or so? The Bible was taken to Patani, where there was a white man, a missionary, you know. Huh? Uh-huh. Yes. Yes. So, yeah. So when he took that Bible to the potter, to the missionary now, himself, instead of him working with the Bible, he wanted to escape with the
Bible.
Yes, to England. Midway, well, then it was not flight. They were using a boat and ships, you know. It was olden days. Midway to his destination, the boat sank. So I think along the line, the Bible, so one way or the other, it resurfaced somewhere, you know. It's a
like, are we not saying that this Bible that we read here in Nigeria here, that we say that the white people brought Bible to us, that the Bible was taken from here to the white land?
The one the white man brought is not this one. This one was a mysterious Bible, mysterious one. People used to go there for pilgrimage, you know. They go to Ariah for pilgrimage.
And because of lack of civilization, then they took it to the white people, maybe to explain to them what it means. And instead of the white people explain to them, they took it and run away.
They wanted to run away with it.
They stole it from there and took it back. Instead of explaining to the people that look at, we now took it and run away.
Run away to England with it.
But did they collect it back?
No, the boat sank.
The boat sank.
So the boat sank. Since the boat sank, and people saw the Bible the way it was. So when they built that place there, they used the image of the Bible on top of the yam. It's still there. So
to represent it.
Yeah, so people go there to pray, and when the people go there to pray, the prayers work for them, you know. And it's our name that was, our language was written with the Bible. It's our language that is written with the Bible. Our language.
I've not heard about this one, no. This is my first time hearing this one, honestly. Yes.
So that is it.
We don't talk about history, like I don't know this part like of the history. Then talking about your culture here, if somebody wants to marry from here, from your culture now, like you have a daughter from this community here, that maybe another tribe wants to come and marry, or somebody from here, how do you do your marriage like?
Yeah, if another person is coming to, or you want to marry from a community here, it's not different from what obtains in another area. And also, our marriages are not expensive as that of Aviara. You are a beautiful lady, and sorry.
No problem.
So, like, you want to marry, you just pay the normal marriage bride price is about 120 naira.
120 naira.
That's the official one, no? Yeah. But also 1,200. You have a list. You have a marriage list for the whole community. Before you marry from anybody in the community, you have to go through that. You have to present that list to you. Which I have it here, and I distributed, which has been distributed to every other communities, you know. So apart from the 1,200 or something like that, those they call that one about £12. I mean, how they call it. So, but all the other ceremonies, that the major money you pay is that amount. You distribute it to all the families concerning. So that is the way it is. And then those days, if you are newly married, they will create a small hut, like a hut for you. Then it is that hut, they will keep you there, they will paint your leg with white, red, not paint. It's that it's obtained from a tree. They will grind it and put it on the legs. Then it is only the brother-in-law, the brothers to the husband who go there to visit. And the relation who take food to the person, to the lady, So it was very good.
As a newly married woman?
Yes. But now they have removed all this from all this culture, there's no more there. But now if you want to marry, just once you pay the bride price, as I've told you, then if you want the thing to be big, you can even rent, you can even occupy a whole field with canopies.
Your choice.
It's on your choice, Yeah, so but the main thing is the bride price.
But if the person did not remember to, maybe the child now, like all these things that will travel different places, he found love there, then the person that is you're living with did not remember to come and pay your bride price or anything, you continue living, bearing children. If at the end of the person's life, maybe he passed away, and the person comes to tell the family people that the child or the daughter is late, will you do the marriage right all through before you carry the person to come and bed?
That's been happening. If you are in such a situation, that's dead body. You pay bride price on the dead body.
You do everything.
Yes, the husband, you have to do everything before the woman will be buried. Otherwise, the children may become children of
the father of the one
out of wedlock. It's a curse on the woman. And also, before any of your child, get child, get married. You the mother have to do your own first. Even if it is 20 years after marriage, and your daughter want to marry now, they have to look for a way to see how they can pay their own bride price first.
Wait now, like for instance now, I am from here now. For instance, I'm from here, and then travel to another state, found love there, get married there with the person without my family people. Have children there without the man doing anything on my head. If my daughter grow up want to marry, they must come to pay my bride price before the daughter will marry.
Yes, at least if your daughter is grown up to get to where she has to marry, they must come to look for the parents. Then the family members who know them, but they have to be. You must know them. Yeah, that's. This woman, they have not paid bride price on this man. So sometimes even the husband of that girl, your own daughter, may even arrange to see how your own bride price will be paid.
So that the right thing should be done.
Yes. Separately, they don't do it together. So these are the things.
After that, then the person will not come and start marrying, doing the daughter's own.
Yes.
But if you not do for the mother, there's no way the daughter will do her own.
It's a tradition. It will remain a curse on the daughter. It will remain a curse on the daughter.
But this tradition in the olden days, that maybe if a woman that married, I know in the olden days, if a woman married outside and maybe died, they will bring the body home in the father's house to bury it. Do they do any tradition like that here?
Yeah, if the woman, no. If the woman married and she dies, the corpse will be buried in the husband's compound.
That tradition is not here.
No, buried in the husband's compound.
Okay.
Usually has similar tradition too, similar one. Apart from that one, if you go to the next village here, that's Uri, they have a different, but you understand accept so. After Uri, if you leave where you reach to Ozoro, they have a different one, just like that. But for everyone, I don't understand. If everyone must be, I can't understand. I don't understand. I can't understand it. Everyone, yes.
Then, when you talk of burial, how do people do burial here?
The normal thing, normal burial, when somebody dies, formally now mostly they put the person in the mortuary. After the period when you want to bury your corpse, bring the person from the mortuary, a red camel piece, and then you do the ceremony. That's all.
Like there's this thing that other tribes do. Like when somebody died, they say they use cow to do the burial to send the person.
If you have money, and you want to promote the burial, you can kick out. Some do kick like 5-10 cows. Yes, yes. It depends on how wealthy you are.
Do you have any tradition like guide women, married women when they marry? Once they're married, the other tribes, when you're a married woman, you do not have anything to do with another man. When you cheat, you have this tradition against you that make you to.
That one, our own, is very, very serious.
Very serious.
Very serious. Yeah, as well, I think if you are married now, and then you're not a woman, I cannot hold you on your wrist like this.
On the waist.
Wrist, like this. I can't hold you on this.
On the waist, you cannot hold the person.
Not even waist yet.
Hand like this. Like holding like this.
I cannot even cross your wrapper if I sit on the ground.
You're on serious. If
I cross your wrapper and I'm not related to you, I have to call somebody who is related to me. My wife has to call somebody who is related to me. Not her relation, no. The man's relation, to go and cross it back.
Who is related to you or her?
Me. Who is related to the husband?
Okay. Maybe younger brother.
Yes.
To cross that wrapper that you cross back.
Yes. That's somebody who is not from the family crossed. So if you talk of waist, even if I cannot hold you on your waist, how can I start going to hold you on your waist? So it cannot work.
But if you mistakenly do that,
if you
because like for instance now, maybe you might be going on the road now and you see somebody walking, you just like maybe the person running to cross the main road and you see that it's danger, you have to hold the person, drag the person back. You do not purposely do it now.
No, that one is not entirely. But not in the village here, not in this area where you cannot go start holding people's hands. Leave women hand. It is now that we shake hands with women, a man cannot shake hands with another person's wife. You cannot shake hands with a married woman at all. If they see you do it, you're already in trouble. The man is in trouble already. They will call the man to question, and the man will explain why she shook hands with a total stranger. Yes.
So is he also effective to outsider or only the people from here, the men from here? Is he also affect outsiders or only like maybe an outsider man sees a married woman here and hold the person here? Does he have any side effect?
An outsider?
Yes.
You come here and to hold a woman here like that. You pay for it too. Pay for it.
But like now, if the person do that, will the person run mad or something happen, or you just do the cleansing?
If you do that, even if the woman don't tell anybody, if you want to keep it to herself, she will either become sick, until she confesses, or the child, or any of some of the children, is that some will even die. Some of the children will even die. So
this tradition strong because my own side the person will run mad, or if the man, maybe the younger ones or relative or friends keep telling you that your wife is sleeping around and continue eating the food and all that, the person will either, the man will be the one to either fall sick, die and stuff. But this is your own now. Just holding hand, this one, this one. Ah.
Yeah, holding hand is you can't just go about holding people's wife's hand. Yeah? Yes, and the consequences probably could be there are mad people around. You may not even know why they are mad. If you say woman who has run mad, you may not know why she's mad, because it could be as a result of one of the things she did.
But if the woman have left that marriage, nothing will happen.
No, but if you confess, if you confess to, you can't, not to the husband, no, because if you confess to your husband, that means from that very day you will not sleep with your husband again. You will not, your husband will not eat your food again. So except because of that, you leave the marriage. Then when you leave the marriage, you have to come here for me to pray for you, for me to divorce the marriage. Then pour drink to give the drink to the ancestors.
If, for instance, now I say I not marry again, I want to leave the marriage, I must come with the husband to meet you to break the marriage.
Well, you have to judge. You have to tell us why we want to leave the marriage. You tell us, your husband also will tell us why you want to leave the marriage. Then after all this are done, and if we look at it as if probably if you don't divorce the marriage, it will affect the husband because of due to the
Violent or one thing.
no, not even violent. Yes, but also part of it. But if the woman is not infidelity of the woman, if you see that the woman is not the one that is it's adult, it's who go about having sex with other men. You can just allow the woman go, but she has to pay for it. And if the man can do, you cannot just come there and say you want to divorce your wife, you just have to pay for it.
You cannot just wake up and say you don't want to take it. Must go the due process so that everybody will be free.
You have to go through the due process. But everything ends here. Ends in the hall there. We have the two so I can also do it here. Because I'm in the same company,
I was thinking it's only my tribe that have this kind of culture of I don't know that your own is even strong and tight. This one is very sure. This one now, if man see woman, married woman, go just dey dodge and dey see am from far because anything will happen.
The way you are now, before I even tell you, I start telling you what I'm not supposed to tell a married woman. I need to really find out if you are married.
You're married or not. You cannot just see woman and say, hey, can you be my, you must find that before you talk problem for yourself.
Normally, you may ask your friend who know her, how do you look at this woman? I like this woman. Is she married? She's married, you will tell her she's married. Then you keep her. Otherwise, you pay heavily for it.
If it happen to somebody that doesn't hear sorry, you don't enter one chance.
No, you have to hear sorry now. You have to hear sorry. Because it's to go through the normal due process. To go through the normal due process. Even if you catch your wife with another man now, for us to say, for them to take loss into your hands, we have to invite your husband for him to tell us why. Yes.
Like now, there's this tradition in my place, or there's this certain thing that people do. That I see the young girl can decide to have a child for the parents, maybe have a child for somebody without being married. In your place, does that child belong to?
So many of them like that.
So many of them like that.
So many of them. But other men may still want to go into it to marry them.
Who did the child belong to?
The child
belongs to the person that pregnant or the father of the girl?
No, the pregnant impregnated the girl, not the father. Not the father.
Can the man come for the child later?
Yes. You know, because eventually the child may look for the father, may locate the father.
Because I see commonly like people will just be like, I have a child. So I became like, maybe I don't know if it's normal thing. Like I see young people be like, I have a child, I have 2 children. I will be like, is it for your father or for you? Say, yeah, it's normal thing. And I heard it again, that it's normal. That's why I ask.
No, you cannot have a child without a father now. Somebody must father the a child, you know. There's no way you say I have a child without a father.
No, there's some tradition that if the man did not pay anything on the girl's head, that child belongs to the father of the girl.
No. We don't do that. We don't do that. We don't do that. We don't have that one.
All right, okay, guys. So, this is Isoko, rich culture and history. I'm here to tell you that when we talk about history, there's a lot to learn about history. Seriously, there's a lot, because I will give you one example here. What I learned here today. I've been hearing about Bible, Genesis verse 1, Exodus this one, but with what I got here, this Bible you hear, or you don't want even thief and carry go. If not, say they catch them. They stole the Bible here. Yeah, they stole it, but God revealed to the people, and they saw the white man that wanted to impia with the Bible.
The man died.
Okay, he died.
Because of it, yes. The man died.
He carried wetin pass am.
The boat sank.
The boat sank.
Yes, so the man died. But somehow, I cannot really get it, but somehow along the line, by the Bible surfaced
again.
One way or another, yes. So
the Bible you see today, our forefathers had this Bible documented on their own way that were guiding them. Then you see these 10 commandments, 11 commandments, 20 commandments. Our forefathers had their own commandments with them, which was helping them to secure their people, their children, their women. You see this aspect of women not cheating on their husband like this. Once you're married, it has been existing with our forefathers. It existed before the Bible. So the white people, this Bible they gave us were reading now is not the main Bible that our forefathers then had. Like now I'm taking you to where the main Bible that you know that our forefathers were using, guiding them, protecting themselves, using as means of their own instrument, power, that was their strength then. I will take you there. So the Bible that white people brought to us that we're reading now is not the main Bible. They took it, maybe on the process of getting the data they came, they went and rewrite the Bible the way that suits them, brought it to us, and that is what is distracting us now. Reading every day, you will read from Genesis to the last verse, you still not understand what is happening. You lock yourself inside house, reading every day, you want to this fire, catch this one, and fire is not burning. You don't even tell yourself that you are saying fire on somebody and it's not working. To tell you that that's not the real Bible. So I'm taking you to the place that they had the main story of Bible, that today people go there to get powers for themselves, to protect themselves, seek for family solution, get blessings. So guys, the story go clear, you understand. Thank you guys. I see the men of get the maths and craft the queen of African culture. So let's go. Daddy, thank you very much for welcoming me to your kingdom today.
Yes,
thank you.
I wish you will not go back today.
I wish I will not go back again. I have to go back. If I not go back, the journey, this my journey will not continue now. It will not end here, and it will not make sense.
Where do you live? You live in your place there?
Yes. So, but we travel everywhere for the culture of our people, so that we have the database, we have our culture based stuff.
Some time ago, we had people like also from this Imo State or West. They came here to take records of the cultures like and the history, you know. Not quite long. I think they left finally at our last. They spent over a year here.
They spent over a year?
Yes, they spent over a year.
Okay. Thank you so much. Oh, thank you. People should remind me my greeting again. Okay, Ogbodu. Hey. Wisuto. You will live forever, my king. Thank you very much. Thank you for your time. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. All right, let's go.